You know, I really like that I have ugly parts of myself. I often think about like whether I would want to get plastic surgery or something to fix, essentially what I don't like. And I'm reminded with the fact that I have ugly parts makes me superhuman, you know? It's impossible to have amazing character and personality without a good backstory, without your weaknesses, without your ugliness, so to speak. All the great characters that are liked in movies or books or something have a cool backstory, some sort of scar, or something that you wouldn't conventionally find attractive about a certain someone. But when you look at it in that perspective of the outside, it's actually pretty cool. And the only reason this conversation came up in my head is because I was thinking about my knees and the fact that they're very dark, and I was very insecure about them at some point in my life. So I was thinking about it on the way to pick up my laundry. That's what I wanted to share and rant about, basically. It's a strange thing. Like, what would I be like if I were perfect, if I had everything handed out to me? I think I wouldn't be this retrospective. Goodness, I couldn't even pronounce it. Probably wouldn't know how to pronounce that word, but but yeah, I wouldn't think about this, A lot of rich people, if you look at it, a lot of people who have amazing backgrounds, who are hot or sexy or, really pretty, they end up not being that way because the world doesn't push them into thinking more than about themselves, unless they have like a tragic situation, life-threatening disease or something. If you're comfortably living your life with a lot of money and, not having to worry about anything else, you kind of lose that, I could be a hypocrite. I'm not saying I will never ever get plastic surgery. I'm only thinking that way right now because I don't have money. Maybe when I'm faced with the reality of money and it comes in front of me, I will change my mind. I cannot lie and say I'm not human, That's what makes me so pretty, in a sense, The fact that I choose to accept the ugly parts of myself and the probability that I might betray my own morals. Yeah. One thing I know that I will never do is, I don't know. What would be one thing that you wouldn't change about your character? It's a really hard question to answer. Because I think everything is a possibility when you're human. If you were to put someone in the right position, into the right moment, they would probably do something. Like, would I ever kill someone or something, Would I ever steal or, well, I have done that before. Shoplifting or something. I am guilty of that sin. But other things that are really terrible, that you say you wouldn't do otherwise, and yet if you were to be put into such a position, would you do it, Those ugly parts are what makes us human. I think accepting that we're very limited and prone to react emotionally, no matter how much you say you are not emotional, is what makes us very amazing and beautiful and tragic at the same time, I think. Anyway, I know my rant doesn't make sense. I just wanted an excuse to talk to nobody out here while I did my laundry, because I have An attention span of a goldfish. Or something along those lines, you know. Yeah. What would you do? I'm gonna go soon have a peanut butter sandwich. Hopefully I won't fall down. And yeah. That's it.